Hey, another day, another deck here on the YouTube channel, and today we're looking at Shilgengar, Sire, Famine. I'm going to go with Shilly for this because that's too big a word for me to try and say early. 3 and 2 black for a 6/6 legendary creature, Elder Demon with flying. And this one's interesting because whenever you sacrifice a creature, you create a blood token. Well, when you sacrifice another creature, you create a blood token. If you sacrifice an angel this way, create a number of blood tokens equal to its toughness. Right, and then you have to sacrifice 6 blood tokens and return each creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. These creatures are vampires in addition to their other types. Right, for those of you who don't remember, finality counters mean when the permanent comes back into play, they come with the counter on them, and if they leave the battlefield again, they get exiled. And so, yeah. But yeah, a demon who likes eating angels in black and white, and we like blood tokens, and they become vampires when you bring them back. And white black, white black, white black, and the 6 blood, the black white hybrid mana, 3 of that plus the sacrifice and the 6 blood tokens gives us quite a lot we can do with this deck, and this is what today's deck looks like. So, starting at the top, we've got 33 creatures, most of which are white angels, just so we're clear. The first of which is Guider, Font of Hope, because, might as well have your angels come in a little bit bigger and have a little bit of mana ramp as well for casting the angel spells. Metallic Mimics here to make the angels bigger as well. And then Voldemort Brood Bloodcaster is also here. So when this dies with another non-token creature you control dies, we get a blood token. So it helps us double up our production when Shilly's in play. And whenever you create a blood token, if you control 5 or more blood tokens, you get to transform this thing to the Bloodbat Summoner, which then gives you a whole load of turning your blood tokens into 2/2 bat creatures with flying and haste in addition to their other types. So still blood tokens, but they're bats, so it helps a bit. Youthful Valkyrie just gets bigger as another angel comes into play. Blood Servitor just gives us a blood token, the only reason it's in the deck. We can sack it off to get a second one if we need to Shilly when Shilly's in play. Falconwrath Forebearer can't block. When it deals combat damage to a player, we get a blood token. It's a 3/1 flyer for 3 mana, so it's not too bad. And we can bring it back from our graveyard if we've got some spare blood tokens one time that we want to do that with. Gluttonous Guest just enters the battlefield, we get a blood token, and whenever we sack a blood token, we gain a bit of life, which in this deck really does help. Inspiring Overseer comes in just for the life gain and a card draw. It's a very small angel, but it's still an angel, so we're not going to complain too much. Renegade Reaper enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. If at least one angel card is milled this way, you gain 4 life. Nice way of stocking the graveyard up if you're about to do the whole triple hybrid mana and then sack 6 blood tokens from Shilly to get everything back. Righteous Valkyrie just comes in, we gain life equal to the Crete Angel's toughness when it comes into play, and as long as we have 7 more life than our starting life total, pumps all our creatures up by +2/+2. Again, a useful thing. Because we are so concentrated on angels, we have got the Starheim Aspirant here to drop all the costs down by 2. Angelic Marshal makes an appearance as one of the lieutenant cards. As long as you control your commander, Angelic Marshal gets +2/+2 and gives all our creatures vigilance. So we get a 5/5 potentially when Shilly's in place. That's nice. Archangel of Tithes buys us a little bit of time by making sure everyone has to pay to attack us. And then as long as Archangel of Tithes is attacking, creatures can't block unless they control a pace 1 for each of those creatures. So that does help out as well. To be fair, a little bit of punch damage is always good. Eradicator Valkyrie, one of the few black angels, flying, lifelink, hexproof from Planeswalkers, and then we have the boast ability. Assuming this is attacked, we get everyone to sacrifice a creature. We have to sack one ourselves, but you can sack one of the angels off. That's fine. Gizala, the Broken Blade, we have got both versions in here, so we do have the potential to do Brizili, the Voice of Nightmares, they are here. This one is really nice because it's just a flying first striking with lifelink for 4 mana, so can cope with that. The other one's slightly better in this deck. Bruno makes it slightly easier in this deck, but anyway, we get there. Camber, the Plunderer, obviously we're not playing the other half because it's red. But whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, we gain a life and get a blood token. Seems good. Merchant of Truth, whenever a non-token creature you control dies, investigate and gives all our clues exalted if we just want to go in one creature. Vengeful Reaper does the whole foretelling thing, so another Angel Cleric that helps out, but the foretelling is probably good for this one. Angelic Sellsword. Oh, another non-token creature enters the battlefield under our control. It's a flying vigilance 4/4 for 5 mana, but whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under our control, we get a mercenary token, and then whenever Sellsword attacks, if it's power 6 or greater, we draw a card. Should be quite easy to get this up to power 6 or greater, even without the mercenaries, but yeah, every little bit helps. And it gives another thing we can sack off. If we want to keep our angels in play, we can sack off the mercenaries as well to get the blood tokens to do the shilly trick. It doesn't say it has to be an angel we sacrifice, it's just that angels give us more blood. Archangel of Thune, we have a few ways of gaining life, so pumping up our creatures is quite straightforward. Boombringer Valkyrie, flying first strike life link and the backup one, so yay, cool. I have used this to turn the Blood Servitor into a 3/3 attacker with first strike and life link for 1 turn, which makes life very funny for some people. Herald of War, whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it, then it drops down all of the cost of our angels and human spells for each +1/+1 counter on it, so that's nice. Lizella, Forgotten Archangels here. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Yeah, this is lovely because you can set all the triggers up, sack your angels off to Shilgengar, and then they all come back to your hand. Just make sure you've got a way of keeping, don't go too far so you go over your hand size. The Sky Shroud is also the other version. The Shroud of Dusk is here. Whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 2 life. That does upset people. Lyra, Dawnbringer. Give all the angels +1/+1 on life link. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Angelic Guardian is also in. Whenever one or more creatures you control attack, they gain indestructible. So that really helps when you've got the finality counters in play. It means you can still attack quite happily and no one will do anything. Steel Seraph, just so we've got a bit of non-coloured angel funness in here. We can play it as a 3/3 prototype if we need to, or hopefully we'll get to the point where we can drop it for 6 and have the 5/4. The Harbingers here just gives more angel tokens. We will be gaining a life and hopefully we'll be gaining more than 4 a turn. Angel of Serenity to take out the things that are annoying us and then get them back to our hand when they go away. Here's the other part which worked for the Brizella Voice of Nightmares combo. Bruna the Fading Light, even better because this actually comes into play and brings back one of our angels from our graveyard to play. Yes, it's 7 mana, yes, it's a lot, but bringing back, say, I don't know, one of the next 2 creatures could be really beneficial. Seraph Sky's Blade, it should come out fairly early. We can pay 1 and tap 4 creatures with flying instead of paying the mana costs we need to, and then other creatures you control with flying have indestructible. Like it, but the biggest thing that gives us indestructible is here. Avacynth's Angel of Hope makes everything indestructible. This is fantastic, even if it's got a finality counter on it, because it makes sure that nothing is going to die, even with those finality counters on them, unless they exile through farewell or something. And then just a little bit of fun at the end. I wanted 1 more angel, and I like playing around with Raya when I can, and yeah, 9 mana's a lot. Probably we're going to try and reanimate this more than anything else, but yeah, if we get it to pay off, it's all good for us. Spells wise, not many. Path and Swords to control the board. Vampire's Kiss to give us a bit of gain 2 life. Target player loses 2 life, we gain 2 life and get a couple of blood tokens, so that helps us at minimum. Damnation gives a bit of board control, along with blood money, which gives us treasure tokens. Would be nice if it was blood tokens, but I'll cope with treasure. And then we've also playing Patriarch's Bidding for a bit of a change, because then we can choose Angel as our creature type at some stage and return everything from the graveyard to play that way instead of having them come in with finality counters. So we have quite a few artifacts to help with this whole idea today, starting with Blood Fountain to give us a blood token, and then we can eventually sacrifice it to prevent 2 creature cards from our graveyard to our hand. Ceremonial Knife is an equipment that lets us get blood tokens, which helps. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Charcoal Dial, Jet Medallion, Marble Medallion, Orazov Signet, and Pearl Medallion all give us our ramp, so yay. Lightning Greaves is here to protect Shilly when we get them in play, alongside the boots, because they're here as well. Beyond that, Herald's Horn, you pick Angel, cut the cost of your angels down instantly, and then muck around, look at the top of your library, and put it in our hands so we get a bit of extra card draw. Icon of Ancestry, again, get to choose angels to make them bigger. Urza's Incubator, choose angels, make them cost even less. And Moon Silver Spear, another bit of equipment in the deck. Gives the creature first strike, and when it attacks, put a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying onto the battlefield. The final card, Transmutation Font. Didn't realise I was looking for things that did blood tokens, and to be honest, I missed this card entirely. So create your choice of a blood token, a clue token or food token, and then sacrifice 3 artifacts with different names. Search your library for an artifact card and put it onto the battlefield. Nice way if you really want to get, you know, your Horn or your Ancestry or your Incubator into play. But yeah, this is here purely just to give us more blood tokens every turn. Like it. Enchantment wise, a few things. Land tax to help us get the lands out. Ascend to the Worthy is also here because it literally returns a creature when it gets up to chapter 3 and then becomes an angel warrior, so that's cool. Sigarda's Imprisonment because I wanted a way to get rid of something that was annoying us. Another tiny bit of targeted removal, and once we can do the 5 mana and exile something, we can get the blood token. Angelic Accord at the beginning of each end step, gain 4 more life, we get another 4/4 angel. Yep, 4 mana for that to sit there and hopefully trigger occasionally is fine. Phrygia's Retribution gives us an angel as soon as we cast it. Once we get to chapter 1, and then chapter 2 angels get tap target creature, destroy target creature with power less than this creature's, and then all our angels get double strike when we get to chapter 3. Smothering Tithe, sorry, had to have some way of getting treasures and ramping a bit harder. Angelic Chorus for the life gain, and Rampage of the Valkyries. Enters the battlefield, we get a 4/4 white angel token with vigilance and flying, and whenever an angel you control dies, each other player sacrifices a creature. We will be sacking the angels and clearing the board quite happily because of Shilly. Lands, all the black-white lands you can think of. I have played Nykthos. We have got a lot of white permanents in here, you know, obviously all the angels, so we should get some extra mana occasionally. But we are playing 10 plains, 6 swamps, and all the other things you would expect to see in one of my decks. Apart from, I know Temple of the False God is there around Relic Retire. They are all there. I had put them in. I just thought for Hobble Meal I hadn't. But anyway, that's it for today's deck. Shilgengar is going to be an interesting one to play up against, I think. I think I've built it in a way that takes full advantage of the whole sacrificing angels, so hopefully it'll work out. This week, Thursday night, you'll see me do a draft of MH3. That'll be happening on the stream. There's a link down below to the stream. Sunday, we'll start playing through the decks I've talked about over the last couple of weeks, so come and follow me on Twitch, it's down below. If you could hit the subscribe button here on YouTube, that would be great. I'm at 434 as I record this video today. So thank you to the person who subscribed between the video recorded for yesterday and the video I'm recording for today. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. And that's it for now. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye.